One thing to know about who we are is that we give away the entirety of the cash collection once a month to an organization in town that resonates with our values and has a connection to members of our church, and that has never been more true than today with welcoming the Texas Conservation Alliance here to tell us a little bit about what they do and how we can get involved. If you're writing a check, please make it out to First Unitarian Church and put TCA in the memo line. Justin?
Thank you, Reverend White, Reverend Dana. So my name is Justin Lannon, and I currently serve as Vice Chair of Texas Conservation Alliance. I appreciate the opportunity to tell you about an organization that I care very much about. I have a young family, and some of our very best times together are spent together outdoors in nature. I want my children and your children and our grandchildren to be able to enjoy Texas' amazing natural world, and that means protecting wildlife and the habitat that wildlife depends on. Texas Conservation Alliance was started in 1971 by members of this congregation. Names many of which you will recognize: the late Ned Fritz and his lovely wife, Genie Fritz, who is here today. Good morning, Genie. It's great to see you. Also here are TCA members David Gray, past chair, Nancy Bateman, and current chair, Mac Turner. Ned and Genie and a tiny group of volunteer activists began working on local conservation issues like protecting the Trinity River, and those efforts have grown into an outstanding organization with a statewide and even national reputation. Texas Conservation Alliance's accomplishments are truly amazing. To give you a few examples, TCA built the support for public lands that resulted in more than 500,000 acres in Texas becoming national wildlife refuges, state parks, state wildlife management areas, or wilderness areas. We stopped 4 costly reservoirs that weren't really needed for water supply, and together those reservoirs would have inundated over 100,000 acres of land. Ned's historic work to protect national forest lands has changed permanently how the U.S. Forest Service manages federal land all over the country. And along the way, our education programs have reached tens of thousands of youngsters, and we've helped many Texas families have amazing outdoor experiences. Today, TCA continues to take the lead on issues involving national forest management, protection of rivers and watersheds, promoting state paddling trails, and state water planning, including the expanded use of water recycling. One of our current flagship efforts is coordinating a coalition of leading Texas wildlife groups, generating bipartisan support for a bill in Congress called the Recovering America's Wildlife Act. It's one of the best things that's happened to conservation in a long time. This legislation would provide crucial funds to rescue wildlife species at risk of becoming endangered, and this is getting a lot of support. One reason I think TCA is so effective is that it's large enough to have stability and continuity, but it's also, at its heart, a grassroots Barracuda organization with both staff and volunteers that are staunchly and persistently determined to protect wildlife and wildlife habitat. For more information, you can visit our website at www.tcatexas.org. There's also written information in a booth just outside this room. And I'll be available after the service to answer any questions. We're very grateful that you've made Texas Conservation Alliance the recipient of this morning's collection, and we'd love to have you join TCA. Thank you.